Hi, my name is Holly Compton, and I am the TK 2 6th grade math coach in Manhattan Beach Unified School Districts. And first of all, I've heard so many stories about quarantine and how parents are a little overwhelmed with trying to learn our new math strategies because when we went to school, we didn't learn math in the same way that the kids are learning math now. So it's been a big learning curve. I saw a video of a woman saying a prayer on Instagram that she needed help with math. So here I am. I'm trying to answer some prayers for us today. Hopefully I can help you with your child first. So this first portion of the video is going to be for parents, and the second portion of the video will be for the children to actually work through the story problem with me. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is called a number talk. A number talk is something that we do very often in class, so your child is familiar with a number talk. What number talks are mental math strategies. We want to try to get kids used to using flexibility in their minds to solve problems. So the first thing I'm going to ask your child or the student you're working with is how they would solve a certain number sentence. So let's just try, for example, 6 plus 6 plus 6. So when we went to school, what we did was we stacked them up 6, 6, and 6, and we drew the line, and then a lot of us did it on our fingers or whatever. But the kids nowadays are really, really good at trying to find tens. So if I asked a kid how they would solve 6 plus 6 plus 6, in particular maybe a first grader, I would expect them to have different strategies than what we had when we were younger. So they might say something like, well, I knew each 6 was made up of a 5 and a 1. Now you can imagine when you say to your kids, how old are you? And they say 6, it's show me 6, they go like this. So they know a 5 and a 1 makes 6. And they also know that this is made up of a 5 and a 1. And this is made up of a 5 and a 1. And lots of times you might see these in number bonds like this. And then kids know that 5 and 1 can be decomposed. This is called decomposing. And then we can actually put the 5s together to make 10. So a lot of kids will probably do 5 plus 5 makes 10. Or they might do 5 plus 5 plus 5 more makes 15. They might jump right onto that. Either way works. They could start with 2 5s first, or they might just start with 3 5s. As you can see, we're getting them ready for multiplication because 5 plus 5 plus 5 is the same as 3 groups of 5 or 3 times 5, right? Okay, so then they might say next 1 plus 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 3. So when I put them together, that makes 18. Now, this looks like a lot of work, right? That's where all the frustration kind of comes in with this Common Core math is crazy. But this all happens mentally. Your kid is breaking mentally the 6 down into a 5 and a 1. 5, 5, and 5 is 15 plus 3 more is 18. Okay, got it. So it's actually pretty quick. So let them do these strategies and hold back from teaching them your own way of thinking because they actually probably have a really good way of thinking about this from the get-go. All right, another question I will ask your child in the number talk later is a little bit harder. So let's do 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. Let's see how they would solve that. So we want to make sure that we are not teaching them. We are listening to how they would solve. So you have 4 groups of 8. Some kids might even say 4 times 8 is 32. You just never know. Or excuse me. No, that was right. All right. Moment of mental breakdown. Okay, so 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. Some kids might actually do, I'm going to steal 2 away from this 8. And I know I have 6 left. And then I would have a 10 right there. And I would do the same thing again. It might seem tedious to us, but really these are quick moves that they're able to make in their brains. So we want to let them make those moves. So here now we have a new problem. We have 10 plus 10, which they will already know is 20. 10 plus 10 is 20. And 6 plus 6, many of them know their doubles fast. 6 plus 6 is 12. And they're probably going to do, well, I know 20 plus 10 is 30, plus 2 more is 32. Some of them might do it that way. Some of them might do it a totally different way. Let's take a look at maybe another way some kids might do this. All right, so we have 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. Maybe when we're getting fancy, they might go, well, I know 8 plus 2 would make 10. So they might count this as 10, 20, 30, 40. So they might do 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 40. They can do that very simply in their head. And then they go, I counted 2, 4, 6, 8 extras. 8 extras. And then what they do is they go 40 minus those 8 extras is 32. So we've got all kinds of ways of looking at problems, right? So we want to see how our kids are solving. So try really hard not to teach the way that you would do it, but really think about allowing your child to express to you how they're thinking. All right, so now the next thing we're going to look at is the story problem. All right, so we've covered that. So that'll go first before our story problem. And our story problem today is actually a story problem that relates to multiplicative reasoning, otherwise known as multiplication. You might think we're crazy for doing multiplication in first grade, but as you're going to see, your first graders can do it because really this was multiplication as well. It's just repeated addition. So multiplication is repeated addition. And that's how your child will probably solve this. All right, so this is a multiplication problem. Don't show them, okay, we're going to multiply and here's the multiplication symbol. Let them solve in the way that they did over here in the number talk. These two things are related to each other. All right, so here's the story. It's called Lucky Charms. There are boxes of Lucky Charms cereal. Each box has marshmallows inside. How many marshmallows are there in all? Well, notice that these are blank. That's how we do it in class, so we're going to keep it consistent here today. All right, so we will give the kids sets of number choices because not everybody is working at the exact same level. Some kids need a set of numbers that's more manageable and they can actually model using manipulatives. And some kids are off to the races and working on second and third grade stuff already. So we give them number sets. So their just right number sets might be 6 and 4. Or they might be 9 and 4. Or they might be 9 and 9 and 14. And our last set of number choices are 11 and 39. You might be looking at this going, I don't know what you're going to do here. So here's what we do in class. So we write it out just like this. And then everybody picks a set of numbers that feels right to them. So either you pick 9 and 4, or you pick 11 and 39, so on. But you have to pick the set together. So let's say I want to do this set. I feel like 6 and 4 would be my just right number set. So that's the story that I'm going to solve as a student today. Okay, so after I choose my just right number set, I choose my tools. So whether or not that is something like this, counters, whether it's a bag of pasta, your child will probably have a tool of some sort, or they will do some sort of math on their paper like what we did in the number talk. So either way. So now we reread the story together, and you want to ask your kids things like, what do we know for sure in the story? So let's check it out again. There are 6 boxes of Lucky Charms cereal. Okay? Ask your kid, can you imagine 6 boxes of cereal? Wow, that would be a lucky day because the grocery stores are empty, right? So make it fun. Each box has 4 marshmallows inside. Okay? Only 4 marshmallows. Wow. Might need a different box of marshmallows. Or a different box of Lucky Charms, really, because the marshmallows are the best part. How many marshmallows are there in all? Okay, so we're trying to figure out if we have 6 boxes of Lucky Charms, and each box has 4 marshmallows inside. How many marshmallows are there in all? So you're going over this with your kid. What are we trying to find out? Oh, how many marshmallows there are. Make it funny, like, oh my gosh, it seems like we didn't get enough marshmallows. Maybe we can add our own. Oh, wow. Okay, so then your kid has tools to solve, or they might start solving using something like the number talk. You just kind of have to wait and see what they do. So obviously 6 boxes with 4 in each box. You can figure that out. My dog's thinking about coming in here. No, he decided to stay outside. Okay, so 6 boxes of 4 marshmallows in each box. So we know that there's 24 marshmallows in all. So your child will probably do something like 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 is the same as 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Something like that. So after they start solving, you can have them record this, their thinking on a piece of paper. So, for example, if I'm a child and I'm solving, now this isn't my number talk anymore. This is my Lucky Charms story problem. I might do something like, let's see, I don't know if you can really see this color. I'm going to switch it out. You might do something like 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. So your kid might write that out, and they might do the exact same thing, 5 and 1, 5 and 1. But this time we have a different number of 6s. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 20. And they'll probably say, oh, I know 2 5s makes a 10. And 2 more 5s makes another 10. And then I had 4 1s left. So, and you're going to let them record it in whatever way is making sense to them. This is how I'm seeing it in my head. So 5 plus 5, a lot of them are going to do that. I'm guessing. So I know that makes a 10, and that makes another 10, and that makes 4. So the answer would be 20 plus 4, which is 24. All right, I hope this helps a little bit. In my next portion, I'm going to have your kids come, and I'm actually going to do the number talk with them. And we're going to kind of play along like we've got some people here, and then I'll do the story problem with them. So this portion of the video is for adults only, helping your kids understand how to do Common Core math. All right, bye.